Jialiang. Jialiang. Jialiang.
Wait, what? Wait.
Dad, are you awake?
Jiangli, are you? Didn't I... Huh? What are these?
How does it feel to come back to life?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you feel strange or different in any way? If so,
Baizhu,
could you
what did you
describe it
do?
to me in detail? Dr. Baizhu, I thought that I was going to... Die? You did indeed. As things stand now,
He's
you're
a
more akin to
Jiangshi?
a zombie than a human. I'm a zombie? That's right. Before we set off, I asked Chi-Chi to prepare an Elixir of Immortality. With its help, you have been suspended in the space between life and death. Of course, this is but a crude imitation of an Adeptus art. I don't expect it to extend your life indefinitely. Whether it will keep you alive for a few days, a few months, or a few years, I'm as interested as you to find out. But, however long you have left, I believe it should be more than sufficient time for you to say your final goodbyes before departing the world in
Who knew
peace.
about this too?
I hope that Director Who finds this arrangement to be a satisfactory one.
An elixir of immortality? How'd you cook that up? Ugh. Leave it to you to work on something like that behind my back.
It's a work in progress that hardly lives up to its name, and it would have had no effect were it not for Jialiang's iron will. In the end, I am merely a doctor. I understand very little of the great principles governing life and death and the perpetual cycle of yin and yang. All I know is that if I'm presented with a life that deserves to be saved, I will do everything in my power to save them. And even this would have counted for nothing without Director Who's assistance. After all, did you not tell Jialiang to show us the way before we set off for Qingsa village?
So she was already aware of all of this.
And I'm busted.
Really,
Without
Hu-Tao?
Director Who nudging things in the right direction, we may not have found Jiangli in time.
I knew someone was listening on that conversation.
No wonder he didn't mention the elixir back then. I thought he was being frank and transparent with me for once, but apparently not.
Director Who told me to keep her suggestion a secret, but it seems nothing escapes Dr. Baizhu's attention.
Oh, that's why he just came out of nowhere.
Never underestimate a serpent's sense of smell. All I wanted was to help Jialiang find his missing wife as soon as possible, so that he could be on his way to the afterlife.
And that's why
without
she
any
was in the exact
unfulfilled
same spot
wishes,
that
making the
Jialiang
journey
was
more
already
difficult than
overhearing
it needs
from.
to be. Leave it to Boo Boo Pharmacy to snatch the perfect opportunity right out of my hands at the last hurdle. Never mind. I'll just have to put it down in the books as a deferred consideration. One Chi-Chi was enough of a conundrum. The last thing I need's another one. If I'd known this was coming, I'd have whisked him off to the Wangsheng funeral parlor the moment I found him.
Come on,
You
Hu-Tao.
stay away from my dad. When I grow up, I'm gonna become an even better doctor than Mom and Baizhu, and cure Dad for good.
Oh, is that right? Well, you wouldn't be the first person who's tried to put Wangsheng funeral parlor out of business. If you're serious about it, you'll have your work cut out for you. Traveler, Paimon, I'll catch you all another time. Is she finally gone?
Chi-Chi, don't say anything before she actually leaves.
All's well that ends well. If you ask Paimon, we should probably do something to celebrate this hard-earned family reunion.
Paimon's idea of a celebration can only mean one thing.
At times like this, a grand celebratory feast.
It's always
is in
food what you
order.
know, isn't it, Paimon?
It feels like it was a whole lifetime ago when I last talked with Jiangli and Ayu around the dinner table.
Maybe I'll whip something up too. It's been a while.
Yay! Paimon can't wait!
Paimon, you can
Alright,
fill all the time.
First things first, off to the market for some fresh ingredients. Let's go!
Oh, wait up! I'll come too!
Baizhu, thank you so much for everything you've done for us.
Don't mention it, Jiangli. I was just doing my duty.
Just your duty, huh? Baizhu, Changsheng, would you mind if we took this conversation outside?
Oh, what? Second instance of a split. Also, Hoyoverse. Do you mind not faking out deaths for once? Seriously? Every single time, you make me think someone's gonna die. You fake out! Stop doing this to me! The only time I knew that was a fake was Emin was Wanderer because I knew he was freaking playable. Stop faking out deaths! Stop it! You did this with Xiao, you did this with Dunyasar, you did this with Nahil in Act 2. Stop this! I genuinely thought he was gonna die. And I was quiet because I didn't want to show too much emotions. Whatever.
Time flies. It's been so long since we bade each other farewell in Shenyu Vale. Changsheng, you're the same as ever. You haven't changed one bit.
You, on the other hand, have changed a lot.
You're right. My younger self would have never imagined that things would one day turn out this way. Or that you'd turn out this way, Baizhu.
Also, for a second time, we actually had like a split thing where the travel's not the focus. Oh, I was here.
I've taken a look
Okay.
at your Elixir of Immortality. It's not altogether dissimilar from the poison I concocted in terms of the way it functions.
I have to say, Jiangli, it was a stroke of genius to use poison to maintain life. I hope you're not too upset at me for copying your methods.
No, not at all. With your intellect, even if you'd never seen my poison, I believe you would have eventually arrived at the same approach. But I'm still impressed by how quickly you managed to gain such a thorough understanding of it. Jialiang's still only been in your care for a few days. Not just that, you even managed to improve upon the original formula. That cannot be explained by intellect alone. Baizhu, be honest with me. Did you try out some of the poison on yourself?
He probably did, honestly.
Huh. Told you the truth would surface sooner or later.
Yeah.
Life force isn't the only thing that Changsheng's contract lets you transfer between bodies.
No.
Is it?
Nothing gets past you, Jiangli.
It's not just life
You are
force, it's also
correct.
illness.
Besides life force, Changsheng's secret art also allows for the transfer
Why
of
you enjoy
toxins
hurting
and
yourself,
diseases.
Baizhu? I don't get
When
you.
I treated Jialiang for the
I know
second
you explained it,
time,
but I still don't
transferred some
get
of
you.
the poison from his body into my own. Not only did this allow me to alleviate the burden on him, but it also gave me an opportunity to study its properties. There is no need to worry about any long-term consequences to my health, however. Now that the source has been destroyed, any remaining poison in me will have already dissipated.
You still risked your own
But
life,
you took
dude.
such a huge risk. If we hadn't destroyed the god's remains back there, then even you might have... What am I saying? I'm in no position to criticize you for this. The reason I left our master and went into hiding all those years ago was that he was getting old. And I didn't want him using up any more of his
That's
own
why
life force
that's
to
why she
treat
just
my
disappeared.
husband. But in the end, how were my methods any different? I risked one life to save another. And then you tried the poison on yourself too. It looks like both of us have ended up going the same way as our master before us.
Self-sacrifice to help others.
Are all disciples of Shenyu Vale destined to turn out this way? To live a short life, having given away our own for the sake of others? To fight relentlessly against the natural course of life and death, whatever the cost? Maybe our fate is sealed the moment we decide to study medicine.
We are doctors, Jiangli. We ought never say that anyone's fate is sealed.
Baizhu, I can tell that, over the years, you've used the contract with Changsheng to transfer many diseases and toxins to yourself. There are so many that some of them I don't even recognize. Can you still stop before it's too late?
I think you know the answer, Jiangli. Every one of us from Chenyu Vale believes in the same thing.
Hey, food's ready!
Bruh.
Mom, come and join us. The Traveler taught me a load of new recipes and said even Dad'll be able to taste them. Come and try them out.
Yes, darling. Mom will be there in just a second. Hey, slow down. Baizhu, I know I won't be able to convince you, but please don't forget that if one day you're not around anymore, Qiqi, Gui, and all the friends who have grown fond of you, they will all miss you dearly.
There's no need to worry, Jiangli. I know what I'm doing.
Do you?
I can only hope so.
Baizhu, what did Jiangli mean by not around anymore? Are you gonna be okay?
Also, when Changsheng was talking about fate, what does she mean exactly?
Every single mortal I've ever contracted with, including Baizhu and Jiangli's master, has passed away at a young age. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. You said that the contract with you helps people live longer.
That's all a lie.
It is a very long story.
Long ago, when plagues ravaged the land, one doctor made a pledge to rid the world of pain and suffering. But even the most ingenious mortal medicine could not stay the tide of disease. And after working tirelessly for many years, even his dearest loved ones fell sick and bade their final farewell. Legends told of an herb lord in Chenyu Vale who could cure any illness known to mankind. The doctor sought the herb lord, but found only a white snake, its breathing weak and its power all but spent.
Changsheng.
Sign this contract and let our lives be joined. Then I will impart to you the secret art of healing. But be warned, this art will harm your own health.
With means beyond human ken, the doctor could now reverse the process of death. And yet, the time still came to say goodbye. Only now, the one departing was the doctor, his life force spent. His final act in life was to pass on the contract to his final patient, his favorite disciple. The disciple chose to dedicate their life to saving the lives of others. And generation upon generation followed in these footsteps. Since I inherited this contract, I've always respected
this
the path
Baizhu's master
taken
talking?
by my predecessors, and followed it myself unquestioningly. That is, until I tried to use the art to save my own disciple's beloved. She begged me not to use up my own
Yes,
life
Baizhu's
force.
master.
She said that this art is a poisoned chalice, an evil and
That was the
unnatural
argument.
practice. She did not wish to sacrifice one life for the sake of another, when both were lives she treasured. Only then did it occur to me. Did I not suffer when my master passed away? just as patients' families do at their loved one's deathbed? Are not the lives cut short by this contract just as worthy of saving as any patients? What is this contract to us? Medicine or poison? Alas, I no longer have enough time left to find the answer. I entrust to your care both Changsheng and this final question. May you find a remedy for this conundrum, which has ailed us so.
Time and again, no matter how much I try to warn them or balance their chi, I can never save them. And you? What's your answer?
If I abandoned the contract and left you without a host, what would happen?
I suppose I'd spend my final moments taking a nice nap on Mount Yaojun. Then I'd be reunited with my old friends and your predecessors.
Then it's decided. If there's a life in front of me that deserves to be saved, why shouldn't I do everything within my power to save it?
Once again, it's the same answer. So be it. Close your eyes. Who knows how many more people will take on this contract?
None. This contract
It will end with him.
will end with me.
My contract has strict requirements on the host's natural temperament. All my hosts have been most pure of heart.
But when one with an altruistic nature gains access to this art, they are more seduced than the average person by the miracle of overturning the laws of life and death.
Wow. Well. I'm just speechless. You know what that means, right? The underlying message of that. Baizhu said, if there's a person that deserves to be saved, I'll do everything in my power to save them. Or help them. He did just mean his patients, no. He also meant for Changsheng as well. He knows that this is poison. He knows his contract is not medicine at all. The symbolism of White Snake is cure, but cure for the patients, not for the host. And Baizhu knows that. As such, he does the one thing that he knows best. He accepts Changsheng, asking her what her wish is first. And then, knowing that his time was limited, he ends the cycle of death. And he ends this cycle of death and then passing on the torch. Because his last will most likely will be to Changsheng, letting her enjoy being with her previous hosts.
Though
Mind
they
blown.
know better than anyone else the
Mind
fate
blown.
that awaits them, when faced with the sorrows of humanity and the pain of losing their nearest and dearest, they cannot help but reach beyond human means. They are like moths that throw themselves into the flame,
I never thought I'd see that in
seeking a
this
glimmer of hope
text,
in a
by the way.
dark world filled with
Like
pain
moths to a
and
flame.
suffering.
So, Baizhu, does that mean...
He knows.
I suppose that would make me a moth that yearns for the light, but doesn't want to be burned to a crisp. Changsheng's art can transfer pain and suffering between people, but it cannot reduce the total amount of pain in the world. It's just like we witnessed. Either Jialiang feared for Jiangli's life, or
Every action has a
Jiangli
consequence,
grieved over
including
Jialiang's
the lack of an
sacrifice.
action as well.
I have nothing but the utmost respect for my predecessors, who sacrificed their lives for their principles. but I do not wish to join their ranks. Nor do I wish to pass on this contract to anyone else in the future.
He knows that he knows this is not right. He knows this is not right. He knows every action has a consequence. He accepts that. But he accepts that. He accepts that. He respects that. But it doesn't mean he has to follow that. And so ends with him.
Huh? But didn't you already transfer a ton of diseases onto yourself?
What makes a poison poison? And what makes a disease a disease? When it comes down to it, are not both mechanisms that affect the operations of the human body? If disease is defined as deviation from normal functioning, then who knows? Perhaps the true Elixir of Immortality could in fact be a kind of poison. Many may view the notion of searching for immortality in poisons and illnesses as a flagrant violation of the natural order. But to me, it is no different from the way our ancestors tested the medicinal qualities of herbs by sampling each and every one.
And this affects the real life as well. Keep in mind, medicines are drugs. It's just how they affect it. The drugs that you will know are negative ones that affects you negatively. But medicines, yeah, they affect you positively. But even medicinal drugs can kind of affect you if you go for an overdose. It's all, and again, following the whole concept of Genshin as a whole. What is a disease? A disease. What makes poison poison? It changes the body, but doesn't medicine do that as well? It's perspective. That's what we've been stressing this entire time. It's perspective. Not everything is black and white.
I don't want those who come after me to lose their lives to this contract. Nor do I wish for Changsheng to perish from losing her host. This leaves only one solution, doesn't it?
You have to become immortal yourself.
Precisely. I will be Changsheng's
That's why you want to
final
become
host,
immortal.
and the tradition of passing down the contract will end with me.
Even the gods of old struggle to achieve true immortality. First you want to save others, then you want to save yourself.
But isn't true immortality also found in death?
Me. You're getting greedy, Baizhu.
Maybe that's what he wants by true immortality.
But isn't wanting to have it all what makes us human? For a selfish moth like me, who's afraid of the flame yet yearns for the light, the only path forward is up towards the moon.
Huh. For once, Paimon just does not know what to say.
Just think about it.
Dr. Baizhu, Traveler, what are you still chatting about? The food's about to get cold.
We also have coconut milk for Changsheng and Paimon.
Okay, fine. Let's go grab some food. Paimon has a bunch of burning questions, but they can wait till after we've eaten.
Oh, Paimon. Let's go.
I do envy Paimon sometimes. Eating her fill is enough to satisfy her body and mind.
True. And yet, although we call them simple pleasures, are such things as these not precisely why we mortals cling desperately to the life we have?
You'd be correct. What a good story. What a fantastic story. That was good. That was good. Next time, for the main story of Genshin, we'll go back to Sumeru. Don't worry. This is just one deviation. But it's not for someone you expect. We have a surprise visitor. Let's just say that her personality is very explosive. See you guys next time. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, and leave your own thoughts about the story quest as a whole. I loved it. See you guys then. ACairconditioner signing out. How it going, guys? And take care of yourselves.